Okay, hey guys, today I'm working on the Viking 6. I just purchased this a week ago from Florida, pulled it back home, and my wife can't reach the pedals. The guy who owned it before, he raised the seat because he put an extra battery here under the driver's seat. So he had it on these tall, pieces in here like this, holding the seat up and over that battery. I read online that somebody else made their driver's seat adjustable by buying some seat rails from, let me see who I got this from Summit Racing. I actually cut this box up. I was using it for something else, but they came in, not box, but this package right here, Sparco, and the part number right there, 00493. So if you go to Summit Racing, type in 00493, you too can be the owner of a couple of adjustable seat rails. I wasn't going to post this because, as you guys know, it's a lot more work to do an install when you're trying to record everything you're doing as well. But I thought maybe this would help somebody, so I know how much these videos help me out from time to time, so I like to give back. So what I've done so far, you can see the additional 2 holes. Well, let me back up here first. These rails are very hard to work on because this adjustable lever right here is spring-loaded. It's got these little teeth on it. See the little teeth right there? They lock into the teeth there. That's what keeps it from being able to slide forward and back. And the little springs that hold this down, it's almost impossible to raise this with your bare hand to slide this back and forth to work on it. So what I did is I removed these springs. They look like this. Okay, goes in this slope, goes in this slot. I'm sure I have it backwards. Oh, I think it goes in from the bottom. Yeah, they go in from the bottom like this. Okay, and then you pull all that spring tension and hook it in there and it pushes it down. So I've removed those from both of them so I can slide them back and forth and work on them. I want to say one thing in the beginning here. I don't know if you can see through that hole. There's like a nylon ball in there. Be careful when you're drilling these that you don't drill that ball. I slide them all the way out when I drill, and then back the other way all the way out to drill this side. I think I'm using a 3/8 drill bit for this. You can see this one is a little bit off center. I wish that didn't happen. It's extremely hard. Let's see if I can move this to show you guys. It's really hard to get the bolts down in here because it's a very tight channel. So I'm in the process of looking through my parts bins here to see what I have that'll fit in there better, because, you know, a hex bolt, the head of the bolt hits the sides as you're trying to tighten it. I'm also going to get rid of these, I don't know what the exact terminology is for these. A ferrule, I guess, is some kind of a ferrule. They're nice and heavy duty. I think I might cut these down to like 1 inch, maybe 1.5 inches tall, because these in there now, plus the 1 inch high rail on top, makes the seat really high, unnecessarily high. So I think I'm going to take my cutoff wheel and I'm going to cut these in half. Okay, but the bolts, I was trying to tell you, is the head of the bolt, when it's down in there, you can't rotate it. So I'm going to see if I can find a bolt here, either cut a slot in the top for a screwdriver or something to tighten it, because it was really hard to tighten that. But now I have this one drilled, I'll show you how it fits in the buggy. Okay, what I learned is these rails have to be with this bracket to the inside. Let me grab the other one just to show you what I'm talking about. And I'll grab the handle as well. This is the handle that you'll be reaching under the seat and grabbing to release it and move it forward and back. I might have to bend it a little bit because it looks like my spacing is different than whatever vehicle this was intended for. I'm sorry about the shaky camera. Trying to do the best I can. Okay, you can see how that lines up with the hole there. The other one is not drilled yet, but this handle then slips over this arm, okay? And I see that little wire sticking out. I think that holds it from pulling off. And then the same thing on this side. And then when it's under spring load, you pull this up and down, you know, like you would a normal car seat. And then it slides forward and back. Okay, so let me lay this handle back in the back here. Again, it's really hard to do this kind of stuff when you're trying to hold on to your phone. And I'm no cameraman. I'm really just trying to help. Okay, so let me see here. I'm going to set this phone down for just 1 second. I want to move this slider to show you how the back hole lines up. Okay, I moved it. You can see that the back hole lines up. I tried to keep the sliders so that they wouldn't come past here. I thought if the driver had the seat forward, this passenger could hurt themselves on these. So there's really no instructions. It's kind of, you're modifying this on your own to make it work, you know, to the best you can for your machine. So I'm going to do a little bit of work here. Oh wait, one more thing I want to say is I just measured, obviously, the space between those two holes. I set it so it was even with the end here, or you could take your tape measure and you could just hook it here and measure to the first hole. And then when you make your, you know, your drill your hole in the back, do the same thing. Hook it, hook your tape measure on here, measure to the first hole. And then I just measured from that. I scratched it with my scratch awl. You can see the other one here. Let me grab that, I'm sorry. Hold on a second here. This is the other one. You can see where I scratched it. Let me lay it over here. You can see where I scratched it. There is a scratch mark, and there's a scratch mark. And what my measurements came out to be, if you want to do it the way I did, is I hooked on the back, and whoops, I hooked on the back, and I went to about 3 1/16. Okay, and then my second hole. Sorry, hold on a second here. Again, it's very difficult to do this. I don't have a cameraman. Just about 11. See how it's just a hair over the 16th? And this one is at the 16th. That's because the spacing between them, let me do this one that I already did. I'll put it on the 1 inch mark, okay? So remember to deduct 1 inch. It comes out to be between the holes 9 and 9/16, but you got to deduct the inch, so it's 8 and 9/16 between the two holes you're going to drill. And that should put you right on the center. Okay. I know I'm going through a lot of stuff here, guys. If you don't like my video, that's fine. I'm just trying to help. Okay, there we go. There's one. You could see it on the 1 inch mark. It's right in there about, I'm actually measuring a little bit less here, so that's, yeah, about 8 7/16, 8.5. Okay, but I drilled the holes a little larger, so it gives me a little bit of wiggle room. Okay, more to come.